Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Hannah. I am a flight attendant for a major US airline and I take you guys along on my trips with me. So tonight we are starting a 4-day. It is a 1-2-2-3, which it has been a long time since I've done a 4-day. I think the last one I did was in November. So I'm so used to 3 days that day 4 is probably going to be just really rough for me. I'm probably going to be all discombobulated from that. So would have loved to have the reverse order, have it a 3-2-2-1 just to make it a little bit easier, but it is what it is. I got to the employee parking lot about 19 minutes early, so I'm waiting in my car because it is a little chilly outside and I forgot to bring my coat again, but I really only need it for tonight. But I don't want to go stand outside and wait in the cold. I'm just going to wait till I see it get to the stop before mine, and then I'll get all my stuff together to go over there. But when I get into the airport, I want to go by the crew room because we do have a couple of international legs this trip, and I'm a UNICEF partner, so I need to get some bags to collect money for UNICEF on those flights. And I also want to try to get some dinner because I just packed random like microwave stuff because we are going to Cancun tomorrow, so I knew that they would toss any kind of meal prep that I did, so I just made it easy and have like Chef Boyardee little like microwavable rice cups. Like I just have the most random stuff in there, and I'm not really feeling any of that for dinner. I also don't want to have to wait till we get to the hotel to eat, so hopefully time-wise we'll have to see what time this bus gets here and how much time I have once we get into the airport. I can get something to eat, but let me go ahead and start kind of getting my stuff together so that we can catch this bus when it comes. We were on a 737 our first 2 days of flying, and I was the position for this trip, so one of my jobs is to brief the exit rows. So I kind of just stand in this area and hope that my exit row people will show up before boarding in. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But we ended up leaving a little bit late out of Charlotte because the inbound didn't get in with enough time, but we only got in about 10 minutes late. We just got to the hotel. It is 10:15 local time, which means it's 11:15 my time. I don't typically eat this late, but I'm pretty hungry because I wasn't able to get food before we took off from Charlotte. I got pulled for random security and regular passengers were in the security line that we go through, so it just took a little bit longer than normal, so I had to go straight to the gate. When I got in there, I wasn't able to do anything. So I'm gonna go downstairs, heat up my little noodle bowl really quickly. I'm gonna stay in my uniform because I'm pretty sure I forgot to pack socks because I left my suitcase packed from the trip I was supposed to do last weekend and would slowly like take things out of it, like sports bras and underwear and socks, and I was like, I'll just redo it, and I completely forgot to put socks back in there, so no socks. So I'm just gonna stay in my uniform because I don't want to wear my tennis shoes without any socks on. But let's go eat up this food and then we'll get in the bed and call it a night for day 1. Good morning. It is day 2 of 4 and today's one of our 2-leg days. We go from Nashville to Dallas and then Dallas to Cancun, but that's not until a little bit later. Right now it's 8:30 and we don't leave the hotel till 11:30, so I have a few hours to kill. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my devotion to start the morning, and then I think I'm gonna go downstairs and check out. They told us last night when we checked in that they have a brunch that they're doing today, and that crew members get 50% off. So we'll go check that out because I didn't bring any food for breakfast. I have a few little like bars, but that was it, so that'll be really nice. Go get that to start off day 2. So let me get into these devotions and then we'll get the rest of this day started. Once I finished my devotions, I went downstairs for brunch. Started off with coffee, of course, and then I went a little bit overboard with the food. Everything looked so good. It was buffet style, so I just got a little bit of everything. It only cost $10 though, so we love that. It was a Sunday and I had a little extra time, so I decided to live stream my church service. We're going through Revelation and it's been so good so far. Then it was time to head to the airport. It always throws me off how much longer flights are between Dallas and Nashville than between Charlotte and Nashville. Like, I don't know why I think it should be the same amount of time, but I just do for some reason. Heated up some soup on that flight, and then it was time to make our way to Cancun. I was super excited about this. I was ready to be in warm weather. I just want to go to the beach all day, every day. So crew scheduling, you are welcome to send me to beautiful beaches whenever you want. But look at this. We had 3 people in first class and that was it. Originally, all of main cabin was full, but we did have some people misconnect. But we had 0 upgrades, 0 non-revs. So it was 3 people and you never see that. That is so rare. It was crazy. You guys, the only reason I bid for this trip was because of the Cancun layover. I was like, y'all can send me to the beach. We love that. And guess what? We are not on the beach. We are like the row behind the beach, and all the hotels across from us are like private beach accesses, so we can't even like just walk across the street to go to the beach. I was asking them downstairs and it's like a 10-minute walk to get to the closest beach public access, which I may try to do that tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see how adventurous I'm feeling, but I'm kind of bummed. I was expecting to like be right next to the beach. Just every other time I've stayed here, we've been in a hotel that's on the beach, and our pilots were actually going to a hotel that's a little bit farther down the strip that's on the beach, and our captain called and crew scheduling today and tried to get them to switch us over there with them, but they wouldn't do it, which is sad. But it's still a really nice hotel. I'll show you guys the room, but I was really looking forward to just walking out on the beach tomorrow morning and chilling for a few hours before our van time, but we'll see if I get to do that or not. I might just have to go up to the pool on the roof this time instead. But yeah, let me show you the room, and then I'm gonna change clothes and go meet the crew to grab some dinner. So it's very spacious. You have your, bathroom area, and then you have your little sink area, closet, 2 beds, and this fancy little swing chair. A little couch. Like, it's just your typical, it looks very clean, very neat, which we love. Check out my view of the Ferris wheel. It was spinning just a minute ago. They must be letting people on and off, and it's like right next to a bunch of stuff, so there's tons of things around. But yeah, here's our little room. We went to Sonora Grill, which was like a Mexican steakhouse kind of thing, but I ordered a pina colada and they were like, oh, we don't have that. So they gave me this instead. It came out smoking and it tasted basically the same, so I don't know what they made me. But then I got some tacos and all the food we got was so good. My crew members ordered dessert, which I'm not the biggest chocolate person, but I did have a few bites and it was pretty good. Well, that is all for day number 2. I will see you guys in the morning for day number 3. As of right now, my plan is to try to get up at a decent time and then make the little walk down to the beach. I just feel like since I'm here, I need to go see the beach. And then I'll just walk on the beach for a few minutes and then come back and lay out at the pool for a little bit until it's time to start getting ready for work. So that's the current idea of what we're gonna do tomorrow, but we'll see how we feel when I wake up in the morning. But good night, guys. Good morning. It is day 3. It is 9 o'clock. I have already done my devotions for the day and I ate a little snack, so we are about to go head to the beach. I was thinking while I was getting ready that I might just take a towel and just go lay on the beach all day instead of coming back to go to the pool, but I don't know, because we're gonna have to see how windy it is out there. They also might have like beach chair rentals that I could rent for cheap. I'm not sure, but we're gonna go do that. I've got some food, my leftovers from last night and my Hot Logic ready for lunch, but let's go see the beach. Before I made it to the beach, I stopped at a Starbucks to grab some coffee, which it's always interesting to me to see what kind of food and other coffee drinks they have at Starbucks in different countries. But I just got a basic shaken espresso because I was not feeling adventurous to go to the beach. But when I got there, it was a little bit cloudy, so I read my book, drank my coffee, and just enjoyed the view. It was so peaceful and calming. I loved it. I wish I could have stayed out there all day. I did get about 2.5 hours out there, which was nice, and of course had to put my feet in the water before I headed back to the hotel. When I got to the room, my tacos were ready, so I ate those while I got ready. Then it was time to head to the airport. So crew members are not allowed to buy duty-free in Mexico. I'm not sure if that's for every airline or just our airline, but I'm not sure the reasoning why, but we just aren't allowed to buy stuff at duty-free. But there are tons of other stores to go to in the airport. We were finally on the 321 after 2 days of the 737. I was over that plane, so I was so happy to be back on the Airbus, but not sure what that puddle was. Hopefully it was water. There's really no telling on these planes ever. But I did go to a convenience store. I got some caramels. I got some gum, which was the whole reason I went into the convenience store in the first place, because I needed some. And then I got some vanilla extract. The gum was not that great. It's a little bit weird texture, but is what it is. As the position 4, once you're done with your safety checks, then you just chill. You're just like sitting there till it's time to board. So a lot of people love that position. A lot of people also love working the island like turns and stuff because it's just one service. It's not enough for food, so it's literally a beverage service and that's it. Now sometimes the people can be a little wild because they're trying to party, but we had really good people on the way back from Cancun. By the way, those cinnamon sugar almonds are thebomb.com. If you have not tried them, you need to go to Church's and get them right now. But our second flight of the day was to Orlando, which normally day 3 I would be going home, but that was not the case for this day 3. We were going to another hotel, but it was at the happiest place on earth, so I guess that's got to count for something. We made it to the hotel, and I had stayed at this hotel once before, but the last time I was here, my room was a lot smaller than the room that they put me in this time around, so I don't know if it depends on like what side of the hotel you're on or what, but it had like a separate bathroom and then a separate like sink and mirror area. You have your bed, and then you had the couch and the table and the extra chair and just all that fun stuff, and I did not have like half of that the last time I was here, but I did my little bed bug checks as soon as I got to the hotel. I hear that those infestations are just a pain to deal with, so I don't ever want to have to do that. And even if you're staying at the nicest hotel ever, they could still have bed bugs. You just never know. But remember those little silicone things I told you I got for Christmas? I've been using those and they work great. But did my little skincare routine as soon as I got into the hotel to start getting ready for bed, and then tried to use my water pick. I hit the wrong button and it literally went everywhere. But I love to do that before bed to just get any extra food out, and it just makes my mouth feel so much cleaner. Then I always put lotion on before bed because flying dries your skin out like crazy. Then I read a little bit and called it a night. Good morning. It is day 4, finally. Go home day. Go home day is a doozy though. We go Orlando to Charlotte, and then we do a Montego Bay turn. So longest day is our last day, but we're gonna get through it and then we're gonna go home. It's gonna be great. I'm about to go head down and meet up with a crew member. We're gonna go to the airport a little bit early to get some food. Sometimes the lines in Orlando can be a little crazy, so we just wanted to give ourselves some extra time. Our show's not until 8:42 at the airport, but we're gonna head on over around 8 to try to give us an extra like 30 minutes in case the lines are crazy, because we need coffee and I need food because I woke up starving for some reason this morning. My stomach has been grumbling all morning, so let's go get some food and get day 4 started. Here is the uniform fit check. Now let's go get some food and start day 4. Chick-fil-A was the move day 4, but the Chick-fil-A is outside of security and there was no line because people either don't want to bring food through security or don't realize you can bring food through security. So we left way earlier than we needed to do all that, but we made the quick flight back to Charlotte. Had a little bit of time in between, so I went by the crew room and warmed up my food and then just brought it on the plane to eat before we did our long Montego Bay turn. Montego Bay is one of those routes that's a pretty heavy party route because people will buy like the all-inclusive hotels and they just want to get the party started on the way there. But look at this. This was such a gift. We were so light and it was just incredible. It was like the easiest flight ever because even the people that wanted to party, it was like only a few of them, so it didn't even matter. But we made it there, and then it was time to finally head back home and be done for good. Of course, this was the longest flight of the trip, and of course it was full, but you know what? It was go home leg, so last leg, best leg is what I always say. We were just happy to be finally going home. Okay, guys, a few thoughts, a few little reminders from this trip. So, first things first, taxiing into Charlotte, every time we did it this trip, which we did it 3 times, we did it from Cancun, Orlando this morning, and Montego Bay just a few minutes ago. Every time we taxied into Charlotte, it took a good like 20-25 minutes to get to the gate, which is insane. And that makes me really nervous for like the summer, because every single time we got stuck somewhere and had to sit for like 5 to 10 minutes just sitting there because there was congestion. And if it's that congested in February, like, this summer's gonna be brutal. So hopefully they take that into account when they are planning like connections and stuff, because they like to make those super tight out of Charlotte. And if it's gonna take 30 minutes to get to the gate when we land every single time, then they need to add that into the time, because that's gonna be rough. Also, if you bring your own alcohol on board, you can't drink it. You can't drink it on the plane. And I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, even though I know that they probably already know that they can't do that, because a lot of people do try to hide it. Also, they make announcements like over and over and over in the terminal that you can't bring your alcohol on board. I'm pretty sure it says it when you buy a ticket, like on the thing somewhere, like that you can't bring your own alcohol on board. You can bring it, or I mean, you can bring it on board, you just can't drink it on board. Like, there's so many different areas that tell you cannot drink alcohol that you bring on the plane once you get on the plane. But if I ever see anybody with it, like I said, I just give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm just gonna assume that they didn't know, because that's the only way that I can be nice about it. So what I'll typically do is just be like, hey, in case you don't know, you can't drink your own alcohol on board. Since you've already opened that, I'm not gonna make you toss it, but just finish that drink. Don't open another one, or else I will have to confiscate, you know, all the rest of the alcohol that you open. But we had a few people trying to do that today, and I was like, why? We have alcohol on board, and half the time we don't even charge because it's a pain in the butt to do it. So yeah, anyways, third, if you go through duty free and then come into the US and have to make a connecting flight, like, you have to put your duty free liquids, if they're over the 3.4 ounces, you have to put them in your checked carry-on bag, or they will confiscate them when you go back through security in the US. So when you come into the US from an international destination, you go through immigrations, and then you get your bags, and then you go through customs, and then you go and you recheck your bag, and then you have to go back up and go through security. And you are not allowed to take liquids over 3.4 ounces through security as a passenger. So if you buy bottles of alcohol from duty free, they will throw them away if you try to take them through regular security. So you have to put them in a check bag. A lot of people had no idea on our flight tonight coming into Montego Bay. Like, we had a ton of people with duty-free bags, so we just said, hey, by the way, if it's any liquids over the size, you have to check it with your checked luggage. And like, so many people were like, we don't have check bags, we just have our book bag, we just have this. And it's like, you got to figure out a way to check it, because they're going to toss it when you go through security. So just a heads up, if you are planning on going somewhere and plan to get duty free, make sure you have either a carry-on bag that you can later check, or have a bag that you check and just save room for your duty free liquids. Last thing, these past few months I have been just trying to bid for easy low time trips, and today was a good reminder of why I've been trying to do that, because today was brutal, man. 12 hours duty, and we flew for I think 8.5 of those 12 hours, which is just a lot, and I am wiped out. Like, the last 3 days I never got anywhere near this amount of tired from the flying that we did, which is why I try to typically either get the long day done first when I have the most energy, or I just try to do like 1 or 2 legs a day if I can. I'm still not super senior to be able to hold only 2 legs or less on trips yet. Most of mine have 3 legs on the last day, which all my trips for March, they all end with 1 leg, which is fantastic. But yeah, I'm wiped out, and that's why I don't try to do high time trips anymore, because literally every single day is like this, where you're doing like just tons of flying back to back to back, like 3 days in a row, and it's just, by the end of that trip, I'm just tired. I'm usually not feeling well. So yeah, we've kind of we're just gonna do the easy trips and just enjoy life, you know? We're not gonna be trying to do the most while we're at work. So yeah, those are my thoughts from this trip. I am off for the next 3 days, and as of right now, after those 3 days, I will be starting another 4-day trip, but it's a 1-2-2-1, so it should be super chill and easy. But yeah, so we're gonna be relaxing these next 3 days, enjoying our time off, because the start of March for me is kind of crazy, because I do have vacation in March. So they stacked like 3 trips pretty close together at the beginning of the month. Once I get through those 3 trips and go on my vacation, then I only have 1 trip after that. So if I can just get to that point, then we'll be good to go. But as you know, I always put my trips up to drop, and if they go, then that's cool. I may or may not replace them with another trip if I can find something that's easy and has like a good layover. But yeah, also I've been getting a lot of DMs on Instagram and other social media stuff, comments on YouTube, just saying like, hey, whenever you lay over here, let me know and I'll be your tour guide, which that is super sweet, and I am super flattered that you guys want to take me out and show me your cities. But I have mentioned this before, I don't tell anybody where I'm going beforehand. That's just a safety thing. Obviously, if you run into me in an airport or if you see me somewhere when I'm out and about, you are more than welcome to come up and say hi to me, but I am not going to ever tell anybody, hey, I'm gonna be here on this day, let's meet up. That's just not something that I do. So I am sorry that I have to disappoint you guys, but that's just a safety thing. And you guys have to remember, I'm telling you guys so much about my life, and you know, you probably feel like you know me because I just share a lot of things, but I have no idea who you are. So it's just a safety thing for me. And yeah, and I think that's everything for this video. So as always, any questions, comments, whatever, put them in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.